I'm Commander Shepard, and this is my favorite channel. It's on YouTube now.
Hey, what's up guys, it's David, and today I'm bringing you a Medal of Honor Warfighter beta gameplay. I played this game for several hours now, but I'm showing you my first game to see what it's like to jump in immediately. And I think I did admirably. I went 23-16 and our team won the match, and halfway through my fire team buddy dropped out and nobody got added in as my fire team buddy, so I was playing solo for the most part. Couldn't even spawn on anybody. So there's an elephant in the video and I'm going to address it right now. Yes, this is EA's attempt at cutting into the Call of Duty market. Most modern shooters can't get around that comparison nowadays because Call of Duty is the industry standard and it does do a lot of things well. Developers try to incorporate those elements into their games, and you know, most games have had modern success incorporating Call of Duty like elements. It's no secret that EA wants to go head to head with Activision. Does anybody remember this ad? The thing is, Battlefield never could have won because the main market for Battlefield was on PC. And we know that Call of Duty, the biggest market for it, is on consoles. And if you want to compete with Call of Duty, you have to be able to compete on a console. But Medal of Honor was definitely designed more with consoles in mind. So now I'm going to talk about how it plays. Shooting and moving definitely feels more like Battlefield 3, due in part to the fact that I'm using Battlefield controls, but also animation-wise, getting up from prone, going prone, vaulting over objects, aiming down sights, all of that looks like it's directly from Battlefield. And it uses the Frostbite 2 engine, but it looked a lot more impressive in Battlefield. I'm just not seeing some of the things that Battlefield 3 had for Frostbite 2, like destruction and the like. In continuing with our elephant of a topic to compare it to Call of Duty, Medal of Honor can aptly be described as Battlefield 3 with Call of Duty like recoil, perks, and point streaks, and you take out what made Battlefield 3 such a deep game to begin with, like gravity, projectiles being affected by it, destruction, vehicles. I'm going to make some objective observations about the gameplay, but I'm also going to throw in a few opinion statements here and there. But enemies pop out really easily. They all look like, you know, if you put on Marksman Pro from Modern Warfare 3, they all really pop out at a distance. You can spot people just like in Battlefield 3, hitting the back button on Xbox 360, the select button on PS3, and every class has their own armor ability. The class I'm using in this video, it's the Assaulter class. He gets a grenade launcher. Other classes like the spec-ops, they have a spec-ops vision where you can see people through walls. That's not going to be overpowered at all. The recon class, the sniper class, can put out a bipod. The pointman class gets one magazine of heavy hitting ammunition where it increases your weapon damage but also increases recoil. So every class has their own unique ability, but the HUD is very obstructive. There's so much going on, and with all the shapes and colors and stuff, it's a lot to filter out to concentrate on the pure gunplay. And you have the best squad spawn system ever in this game. It's very intelligent, as in it won't let you spawn on your buddy if he's taking fire. The meter will go up, so you really have to stay in cover to allow your squad mates to spawn. But in continuing with our discussion of spawns, you have the opposite of spawn protection. You get spawn punishment, because as soon as you spawn, it takes a while for your gun to raise up, and you can't shoot back at people that are shooting at you if you're coming out of your home spawn. So spawn camping will be rampant. This is unavoidable with the spawn system the way it is right now. Also, spawning in the Blackhawk is suicidal. One of the classes has a Blackhawk as a point streak where you use the Blackhawk as a mobile spawn point over objectives. As soon as your opponents see that Blackhawk, they're going to set up their bipods and just take pop shots at it, because it takes a while for the animation to finish with your player getting out of the Blackhawk and jumping on the rope down. And people can shoot at you during that time. You're vulnerable and you will die. I died twice in this video from a Blackhawk spawn. So those basically are just my objective observations about the game so far. This is only the beta and it's not representative of the whole game. So I'm going to reserve judgment on whether I make this game a purchase or not for later. But what I feel about this game at the moment is that I don't think it's a unique enough of an offering for me to pre-order it at minimum. I maybe jump on later once it gets going for a while, but at this moment, I don't see a whole lot to distinguish it from other first-person shooters on the market. So now I'm going to talk about multiplayer shooters in general. Those of you who are subscribed to my channel know I have a series on video game psychology. This is a continuation of this series, and it's called Truthful Inconveniences. Online communities of multiplayer shooters are not representative of the entire population who plays. The online shooter community is definitely more representative of those who have issues with certain elements of the game. From an individual standpoint, there is a cognitive bias called the false consensus effect that mediates some of these complaints. The false consensus effect means that you overestimate how much other people agree with you, and that's done to raise your self-concept and self-esteem, to make you feel like you fit in more with the community. In actuality, those of you who are online and complaining about certain elements are only a small portion of those who play the game. Because, as I've said before in my psychology commentaries, you're more likely to go online to complain about something if you have issues with it versus if you are actually having a great time. You're probably going to be playing the game instead of like voicing your opinion online. So the false consensus effect mediates some of these concerns. The first truthful inconvenience about multiplayer shooters that I'm going to talk about is this mechanic is in insert game. Why isn't it here? This is going to happen with Medal of Honor Warfighter. It's inevitable. Medal of Honor Warfighter borrows from Battlefield 3 mechanics and borrows from Call of Duty mechanics. The comparisons are going to be everywhere. But the thing is, Medal of Honor is also its own standalone game. It's its own franchise. Even though it does borrow elements from other games, it doesn't have to follow them to its teeth. The thing is, if you're so intent on having elements of those games in Medal of Honor, why don't you just play those games in the first place? It seems like a waste of effort to try and change Medal of Honor to be the game exactly how you want it to be played. It's like you have some sort of entitlement that the developer should only design the game for you. That's not the case. Another truthful inconvenience about multiplayer shooters is, if you give a mouse a cookie, he's gonna want a glass of milk. Anytime a shooter is patched, it's not gonna solve both sides of an argument. Not everybody who has been complaining is going to be pleased. And you're only going to fail miserably if you're going to put out patches that try to pacify everybody in the online community. But once the first wave of patches is completed, it's not going to completely satisfy everybody who has complained at all. They are going to be relentless in pursuing patches on and on. You're never going to please everybody. People are always going to ask for more and more. People are going to be absolutely relentless in wanting patch after patch to try and mold the game to however they want to play it, instead of trying to play a different game if they're so dissatisfied with the game in its current state. Again, here's that entitlement that the online community feels that they deserve. The last truthful inconvenience I'm going to talk about this commentary is people hate getting killed by grenades. One of the starter classes, the assaulter class, he has 2 frag grenades and a noob tube, a grenade launcher with 2 grenades. And they have a very big kill radius. I mean, people generally don't like getting killed by enemies that they don't see. And some of that is due to the fact that, you know, every once in a while people might Hail Mary a grenade off the map, and if that was just a random grenade spam, it had nothing to do with skill, and your opponent dies from that. Those moments, they're very salient in your mind. Those horrible moments stick out in your mind a lot, especially as the game progresses. So that's part of why there's so much grenade hate. But an inevitability of Medal of Honor Warfighter is people are going to start complaining about grenades and grenade launchers and explosives in general. Mark my words here. Also, the sniper class, he has proximity mines. He has 2 proximity mines. And from what I've seen in the beta, they don't disappear after you die. But anyways, guys, this is all I have planned for this commentary. Enjoy the rest of the gameplay. I hope you've enjoyed this topic. And if you did, please leave a like. I've got more of these truthful inconveniences planned. Thanks a lot, everybody. Have a great day.
radar is down. Watch your movement.
Mortar's ready. Hanging on too.
Helicopters inbound to common area.
This one, 6 is covered at the LB.
Requesting fire mission. Smoke.
Copy, hanging.
Planning a demolition charge. Cover him.
Solid. That's it. Moving out.
We're planning a demo charge. Eyes on the objective. Charges in place, Atlas. Protect the area. Victory's ours. Good work.